Hi, my name is Jonathan Pyle, and I'm an attorney and open source software developer. Currently, I work on automating legal assistance, but previously I worked at large firms and small firms doing commercial litigation and government investigations. I believe that in the future, law is going to be increasingly computable. Commercial contracts will not need to be mediated through flesh and blood attorneys, and technology will make it feasible for the government to enforce finer-grained laws and regulations. Companies will be making decisions with the help of enormously complex predictive analytics, and the process of running it by legal will mean the setting of quantitative limits on statistical models according to a legal opinion. Transaction costs will be driven down to the point where disputes could be resolved by computers using application program interfaces, sort of like high-frequency trading meets litigation. And clients' expectations are going to change. Increasingly, they'll expect their outside counsel to help them balance legal risk against business objectives, which will require lawyers to have a deep understanding of their clients and their business. And in practice, I think this deep understanding will mean that clients will expect law firms' computer systems to have a direct connection to client computer systems with total information sharing. And above all, firms will need to improve their value, providing faster, better quality services. In order to provide these highly tailored, highly integrated services at the right price point, firms need to push the work down, replacing bespoke services with computer code whenever possible. And to help manage risk, firms will use confidential big data provided by their clients and run it through predictive analytics to uncover legal risks and predict the outcomes of lawsuits. Law firms will be a friendly big brother for their clients. And in this environment, traditional lawyer work, I think, will be an overpriced commodity. Law firms will distinguish themselves with their intellectual property instead. Which firm has the most sophisticated analytics that uncover and measure legal risk? Which firm has the most user-friendly and best integrated apps? Or a law firm's most valuable asset may not be the brains of its lawyers, which are fungible, but the big data that it accumulates from its clients. Firms with big corporate clients might be more effective because they possess rich data sets that make legal AI possible. So, what will a typical day look like for a lawyer at the law firm of the future? I think you'll get to your desk, you'll manually review several red flags that were raised last night during the automated scanning of your client's corporate email servers, which the analysts in your firm's Shanghai office thought were ambiguous. Most turn out to be false alarms, but one prompts you to call your client. And then at 10, you conduct a webinar for a team of paralegals whose job it is to train the computer to spot legal issues in documents. You called the meeting because you conducted an audit and found that more than 5% of the time, they incorrectly trained the computer on issues regarding Texas wage and hour law. After lunch, you attend a team meeting to discuss a draft report to the client about the expected litigation costs resulting from adopting a particular business practice. And this report is based on a statistical analysis of more than 20 years of case outcomes in all 50 states. When you get back to your desk, you remember that you still haven't filled out the post-mortem questionnaire following the big litigation case you completed last month. So you spent a few hours on your computer explaining in painful detail exactly what transpired in the case and why your team made the decisions it did. And this information will go into your firm's case strategy engine. So all of this represents a big shift in lawyers' relationship to technology. Rather than using tech as a tool, you'll spend a lot of your time maintaining extraordinarily complex automated systems. So in many places in the legal field, we'll see all this data and automation. Does this mean that lawyers need to be coders? I think the answer is yes, but not because lawyers will be doing work that's traditionally done by software engineers, which can be outsourced. I think lawyers need to code in the sense that they approach law as legal engineers. Their functions will be law, and their variables will be facts. They'll still have to do qualitative work, but then they'll need to figure out how to quantify the qualitative. And I think law schools can prepare lawyers for this future, not by teaching them to code necessarily, but by teaching them to write complex contracts from scratch instead of by using forms. That's almost the same as teaching coding, I think. Or the schools could offer multidisciplinary clinics on building a law-related product or customization for a corporate customer. And law students can learn how to teach people to understand the law so that they can better delegate tasks to non-lawyers. So I don't think lawyers need to learn vastly different skills. I do think their expectations need to change. Yes, they should aspire to be quality control specialists, and yes, that is prestigious. If lawyers and firms don't change, I think the type of systems that I'm talking about will still be developed in this world, but they'll be developed by accountants and consultants rather than by lawyers. And I think it's fair to ask, is that a bad thing? Well, I think it would be a bad thing because these systems are going to be powerful forces in our society, and if we want the values and ethics of our legal traditions to survive, I think we need to code them into these systems, and we can't count on people who are not educated in this tradition to do that. Thank you.